Hello everyone, I'm excited that you are about to go splitboarding. It's a great way to get out, enjoy nature, explore the mountains, and make snowboarding part of that trip. This video is intended to orient you to the essential gear, show you how to use it, and get you ready to have some fun. It's best for people that perhaps borrowed a rig from a demo fleet or from a friend, or somehow came across some split gear and you're ready to give it a try. So here we go. We've got a split board. We've got split board specific bindings. We've got climbing skins and poles, collapsible poles hopefully. Start by focusing on the split board. Right now it's in ride mode. It looks a lot like a regular snowboard, except it's split down the middle. It's attached in a couple different places. The nose and the tail have clips. Some clips in the middle that give it some support. But the bindings do most of the work to hold the two halves of the board together. Let's take the board apart. The nose clip slides over. Tail clip does exactly the same. The bindings need to be released. There's a snap ramp in the front. Pull it, opens up, and you pull from the back of the binding, slide it off. Same thing on the other binding. You'll notice that underneath, the bindings were attached to two pucks. These really do a lot of the job to hold the halves of the board together and give you a nice solid board feel. Once those are off, you should be able to just slide the two halves apart. You've got skis. Remember, when you take the skis apart, we do ski the opposite. So there's the board together. Swap them around. And a lot of the reason for that is you want that nice catch-free motion. You'll see how these contact points just skip off of each other. If we were ever over here, we'd be catching all kinds of clips and things. Even though you can twist these to get them out of the way. Still not the way we want to be skiing. So when you're split boarding, swap the skis around. If you take a closer look at the bindings, you'll realize that they're a lot like maybe the regular bindings that you're used to. Two straps. High back, forward lean device. The big difference is on the bottom where it makes connection to the board. And everything is controlled by that snap ring. So here we've got our left ski, got my left binding. To attach it for ski mode, we're going to insert these pins, these pivot point pins, into the touring bracket. You'll notice these two sections, two parts in the middle. We've got our touring bracket, and we've got our heel plate that makes contact as our heel hits the ski. Slide both pivot points into the touring bracket sideways. Close the snap ring. Ready to tour. Look at that, gives it a nice pivot point. You can picture your leg in there and you're going a lot like cross-country skiing. See the binding making contact with the heel plate, and there is a climbing bar in the back. When the hill gets steep and you want a more comfortable touring position, picture yourself going up the hill, getting a little steep. Not really comfortable to have your leg back here. You want to be a little bit more level for a nice comfortable touring position. That's when the snap ring comes in handy. Slide it down and you get a nice comfortable touring position. There's two different levels, low and high. I usually always stay in the low one and it does the job. If you're going up to the high one all the time, maybe there's a better route that you could be going up that isn't so steep. Maybe you could do some of those switchbacks, go back and forth across the mountain. Another essential piece that every ski tourer needs and splitboarder needs is climbing skins. These skis need to go up the hill, but they've got that nice slippery base that we need for going down. Climbing skins do the job. Usually come in a bag like this, skin bag. And we've got two skins, one for each ski, and there is a right and a left, and you can mix them up. So, let's see which one we got here. I'm going to put it on the right ski. The way I'm going to figure that out is, look at the ski, I'm going to find the tip, the nose of the board. I'm going to take a look at it. I know I'm looking for the one with a nice curve like that. Here I've got the skin. This is the tip, the one with the big curve. This is my right skin. Here's your skins. When we're storing the skins in the skin bag, we put them glue side on glue side. One side has a nice sticky glue, the other side has the plush. And you'll notice if you run a handle on it, from the nose to the tail, nice and smooth. But if you go from tail to nose, grippy, grippy, grippy. That's what's going to get you up the hill, but keep you sliding nice as you're skiing through the hills. Got to pull the skins apart. Sometimes it could be tough. If it starts to get tough, grab those skins, put them in your legs, and use your legs to pull them apart. Legs are much stronger than your arms, and they can really help you out, especially when skins might get cold and that glue likes to stick together really good. Here we go. Making sure that I'm not touching the side of my skins to anything that will get stuck in it, dirt, hair, the dog, all those different things. I'm going to take the right ski. I'm going to attach the skin to the nose. Once I have it attached there, I'm going to run it along the entire base of the ski, leaving the metal edge exposed. I'm going to go right down this nice straight edge. Smooth it out. Smooth it out. Flip the ski over. Until I attach all the glue sections, then it's time to attach the tail clip. I'm going to attach it to the curved side first, and then I'm going to pull it over to the flat side, the inside edge. There we go, it's attached. It's okay if the little tail's hanging, no big deal. It won't bother you. And there's our half of the split board with the skins attached. Do that with the left ski also. And good to verify, so here's that touring bracket, just like the front. I flip it over and I make sure that I've got them going in the correct direction so that I can ski effortlessly and climb right up that hill. It's important to note that you can put the skins on the wrong half of the board, but you can also put the wrong binding on the wrong half of the board. Here's the right ski and the left binding. Fits just fine, except here's your ratchets, and all on the inside, they're going to be catching each other. So, something to take a peek at before you head on out on your tour. Make sure you have the correct binding on the correct ski. Okay, we've got our bindings ready in tour mode. We've got our skins on our skis. The next piece you'll need is your poles. You'll notice that there's a couple clips. When you do them, we could pull the sections of the ski out, make it the correct length for you. Close the clips, and there's your ski pole, just like any other ski pole you see out there on the mountain. When we get to the top of the hill and it's time to switch over to board mode, it is nice to be able to collapse those poles so that you can either put them in your pack or attach them to your pack some. If you don't want to deal with that, something you can do is ride with your poles. Picture this. You just saved one step. You didn't have to put your poles away. And now that you're on your way down the hill, hold the poles in your back hand, right in the center, nice and balanced. There you go, riding with poles. What's that? It's a flat section. Oh no, all of my other splitboard buddies are stuck on strapping. But not you. You've got your poles ready to push you through that flat section or dig yourself out of a gully or wherever you may find yourself. Especially helpful when you're out in sections that you've never explored before. And those flat sections will sneak up on you real quick. So good to have the poles out and maybe get yourself out of the jam without unbuckling your bindings. Something to note on splitboard bindings. Forward lean adjustment device. And you put it all the way up. Slide it up so that you get full motion. This is going to be really comfortable for walking. Move that angle all the way back as far as it'll go. You'll have nice, comfortable motion, nice range of motion for your walking. But don't forget to put it back down to where you like it for riding. You get a little bit of forward lean for your ride. Something to think about. Alright, now that we reached the top of our hill, we found our run. Look at that powder stash. That's a beautiful thing. We're ready to ride. What we're going to do is take the bindings off, keep them close, just put them to the side, nice and easy. We're going to rip our skins off with the ski, just like we did before. We're going to pull off the tail clip. We're going to pull the skin down the ski, just like this. We're going to keep that skin away from anything that could get stuck in it, those pine needles, or hair again, whatever else might be up there. And the way we're going to store them is glue on glue. So, I'm going to very carefully fold them in half, give them a nice light crease. Then, with the other skin, I'm going to fold them together, fold them again, and you can put them right back in the old skin bag. Stick them in your pack. If you're going to be out for a long day and you're going to be doing a lot of climbing up, taking runs, doing laps in a certain section, you may want to consider keeping your skins warm. Keep that glue warm so that it's ready to stick even though you've been out in the cold all day long. In which case, you're going to want to put them inside of your jacket. Put them inside the pocket. You can put them right inside your jacket and cinch it up, keep them close to your belly. It's kind of nice. Your belly kind of keeps the glue warm, but the cool skins also cools you down if you've been working out and climbing up hills for a while. It's a nice feeling. So something to consider if you're going to be out all day doing multiple laps. Otherwise, just put them in the skin bag and keep them in your pack. Keep them nice and clean. Now it's time to turn your rig back into board mode. Put the skis back around. Make sure that these clips are facing out so that they're ready to grab onto each other. We're going to hold both of the halves of the board, put them together kind of like a book with those clips right next to each other, and we're going to fold the halves together and slide them into place. You can see those clips want to grab each other. There we go. Lock it in with the nose and the tail clips. And the bindings do the rest of the work to join the board together. Snap ramp in the front, we make sure it's in the open mode. And we're going to slide the board onto the pucks. You'll notice that there's a channel running all along the base of this binding. We're going to slide that onto the pucks and then close the snap ramp to lock it in. Here we go, I'm going to slide it on here. Make sure that this ladder is out of the way. That could slide down, just pull it up into place like that. There we go. Slide it in all the way. Close the snap ramp, and nice solid binding connection. Same thing with the lip. Board's ready for downhill and enjoying that powder that we discerned. Let's talk a little bit about setting up the split board so that it's right for you. So right now, this board is set up regular. Right foot in the back, left foot in the front. If you also ride regular, and perhaps the person that you borrowed the board from gave it to you this way, or the fleet that you borrowed it from gave it to you this way, adjustment is really easy. What I suggest is find your favorite snowboard that's really comfortable for you, measure your stance from the center of the binding to the center of the binding, get that number, and go over, and we're going to replicate it here on the Splitboard. Through the binding, we could see 4 screws, the screws that hold in the pucks. The pucks move independently, and we could dial in any kind of stance we need. Make it wider, make it more narrow, change your angle, all those things you could do just by loosening these 4 screws. Let's do that on the front foot. The screws loosened, we could slide them forward and backwards, change the angle, all those things. So I'm going to pretend that I just measured my stance. Okay, I need it right about there. Just move it up just a little bit. I want to make sure I center it on the board. Pull this back a little bit. There we go, that looks really good. And I'm going to change my angle just a little bit. Alright. There's my stance that I like. I'm going to kind of look at it, picture myself on there. When it's time to tighten everything down, what we're going to do is make sure that we push the pucks forward and backward. Push the heel one back toward the heel and the toe one up toward the toe. They have to make contact in the front and the back, otherwise you'll have a loose connection, which is not good. I'm going to hold them in place and tighten screws. Not to go crazy, snug it down nice. You can repeat the process on the back binding, get that angle, narrow, wide, anything you like. One of the great parts about Burton boards is the split channel, and you loosen those 4 screws and you can dial in just about any stance that you want in a few moments. Good stuff there. If you need to change your board from one stance to the other, for example, this is set up regular, and if I needed to switch it to ride goofy, it's a bit more complicated. If you took this binding off and slid it onto the pucks this way, unfortunately, a few of the screws you just cannot access to loosen. So that's not going to work. There's 2 things we could do. One, you could use the tool for the job, which we call the backcountry bow tie. It's a stance adjustment device to slide into the pucks, at which point you can loosen them, move them any way you like, switch it around so that you can have a goofy stance. That works great. If you don't have that, there is still something that you can do. Put the binding onto the board just as it was, set up regular stance. I'm going to loosen the screws. Now I'm going to put the stance in a very neutral position, straight perpendicular to the board, just like that. Alright, got it nice and perpendicular to the board and centered on the pucks. Take the binding off, swap it around. Give it the 360 wiggle if it's giving you a little bit of trouble. moving in a 360-degree motion as you're sliding onto the pucks. And now we could access the screws to loosen it and set it up goofy. You know, a lot of splitboarding is experimentation, finding your own style, and being a creative problem solver. You know, and this is the first one, just figuring out how to dial in your stance. There we go, ready to get a little goofy in the backcountry. There we have it. That should get you started and help you enjoy your first splitboard tour, your adventure. A few things to consider when you head out on your first tour. Keep your first adventure a little mellow. Maybe a place that you already are familiar with. Could be a resort that allows uphill travel. Don't try to fly up the hill. If you try to move as fast as you can, you're going to wear yourself out quick and you won't have that energy that you need to enjoy the snowboarding, which is a lot of the reason why we're out there. Just conserve that energy on your walk up. Enjoy the sights, enjoy the sounds, enjoy your company with your buddies, and save a little bit of that energy for the way down. Remember to dress in layers and bring extra in your pack. It's important to be able to regulate your heat on the way up. You may be cold in the parking lot, but as soon as you get going, start to work up a sweat. Try not to sweat too much. Try not to get your layers wet. If you're feeling a little bit too hot, take a layer off and put it in your pack. It's always easy enough to stop and put it back on if you really need it. I hope you have a great time out there splitboarding. Remember that it's an adventure. Not everything's going to go perfect, but consider it part of the experience and roll with it, and I think you'll have a great time. Here we go. Let's enjoy winter together. Oh God. Go splitboarding! And you know, it rides a lot like a regular snowboard. Close enough. This really sucks. Work at home. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great time splitboarding.